My whole life I've been trying different things. Like I was a rapper when I was 19, and I just like I didn't realize till I did stand-up for my first time that even when I was rapping, I was doing stand-up comedy. It was just to a beat. You know, I'm doing punchline after punchline. Really, what got me into it is I always knew I would do it someday. You know,
Very cool.
I grew up around New York and with all the famous comics, and I just knew I'd do it someday. And then, you know, like coming here to Daytona where it's a little bit wide open, I just took the opportunity to slide right in. Stand-up comedy is definitely harder. Definitely harder. Because when you're a rapper, it's like, you know what your song sounds like. You know if it's a good song or a bad song. And like when you start and the song plays, you're along for the ride. It's not going to change. You're like, okay, they're either going to like this or they're going to hate this. We don't give a fuck until the song's over, and then we'll say. But with stand-up comedy, you get constant reminders of if it's good or bad. So it's much, much harder and much more rewarding to do stand-up comedy. Well, my favorite is Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle's comedy album. That's what took me so long to get into it, because you watch Dave Chappelle's comedy album and you're like, fuck, I can never come up with this shit. I mean, if you watch somebody like Kevin Hart, who's a great comic, or you watch some of these other comedy albums, you're thinking like, okay, they're great, but I might be able to do this. But when you watch Dave Chappelle, nobody in the world can come up with that shit instead of Dave Chappelle. So like that's my favorite. I loved Dave Chappelle show. I mean, I'm talking a lot of Dave Chappelle, but that was just groundbreaking. The other shows that I like, is that what you asked me? I love The Office more than anything. The Office and Parks and Recreation are the best shows ever made. Both versions, the UK and the American. We'll watch it on loop, me and my girl. Once it's over, we watch the UK version, then we watch Parks and Rec, then we're back to The Office. I don't know, man. That's a hard question, because it's like, of course you want to say Don Rickles, but I'd feel like this man's about to destroy me. Jeffrey Ross, they're the two best roasters that ever lived. Dean Martin is my personal hero. To hear him make fun of, I mean, he's dead, but to hear him make fun of me would just make my life. Even if he hated me, that would just be it. Dave Attell. Dave Attell is another comedian that I love, that if he made fun of me, I wouldn't even be mad. I would laugh my ass off. Jerry Seinfeld, of course. Because to hear Jerry Seinfeld make fun of somebody would be the best thing ever. That's it. If I could go on tour with anybody, it'd be Ricky Gervais, Dave Chappelle, Louis C.K., and who's another comedian that I really... Dave Attell, Ahmed, and that's it. Those are the greatest comedians that ever lived, those guys. I don't know, man. I just started, so like, if I could get paid even $25 for a show, it'd be the greatest fucking thing that ever happened to me. I would love to do it as a job. Hopefully in 5 years that happens. Because could you imagine going to work doing this? This is what we do for fun. Like, I sell cars. Fucking, to do this for fun would just be amazing.
Awesome.
Or to do it for money would just be amazing. Doing it for fun is okay. But to get paid, that's all I would like. Even if I lived in the most broke one-bedroom apartment ever, if comedy paid for it, then it would be a great life. I like improv. I like acting. You know, my brother's a big actor. He's in a movie that's coming out called Officer Jack. Plug. I mean, I'd like acting, but only comedic acting, because that's what I like. That's the most I would take it. I like making people laugh. I also like writing. If I could write, like, I don't need the laughs from me. Writing good jokes for anybody would be unbelievable. But stand-up comedy is the best. That's why Jerry Seinfeld he stopped making $1 million a year show to do stand-up comedy. There's a reason, because it's unbelievable. Favorite comedies? Dumb and Dumber. I think it's just the most brilliant comedy. I mean, this is hard because I watch a lot of movies. Because I was in the military, so we watch movies and movies and movies and movies. Super. Have you ever seen that?
It's the superhero movie, right?
It's a superhero movie where Dwight just goes beating the shit out of people with a wrench. I love that movie. It's the greatest movie ever. God Bless America is the same movie but with a little girl, which is awesome. Another comedy movie. This is a weird reference, and I'm not trying to seem artsy when I say this, but John Wayne movie was a comedy. It's Mulligans. No, McClintock. That's it. That was one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. Man, my dad used to just roll laughing. That movie's so old that Dick Van Dyke, he wasn't in it. His father was in it. But that shit is still funny today. How many was that? 4? 4. I need one more. I don't know. Dumb and Dumber, Super. I don't know. Like, some movies are comedies to me without being like Django. I thought was the funniest fucking movie ever. That'll be my 5th. And it's not a comedy, but I loved it. I thought it was so funny. I'm Ian Perna, and I'm being interviewed by QTPie.com.